a conversation with the other person. In other words, having enough understanding of the language of energy that you actually have a nuanced 2-hour conversation with them. So with this approach, this energy-based approach, what we're doing is you're having a nuanced 2-hour conversation. You're following this energy, you're following that energy, you're working with all different types of movements of energy in the person's body and in their psyche. And really, it's it's a long conversation, and it's a journey. And like I don't always lead. I follow a lot. Like there's waves of energy going on in this other person or between us, and I'm going to flow with and follow those waves for a while, like ride on them, and then I'll see where that I can lead and actually increase those waves, right? So I might take a lead, and I'll inject this energy, and I'll sort of move things a little bit, and so it's really a process of following all of the subtle energies and changes in energies, whether they are psycho-emotional energies or whether they are sexual orgasmic energies inside the body, and following those for a period of time, and in essence, get to the point where you are riding them together, and that's of course more accomplishable if the other person is tuned into this type of work also. But either way, even if they aren't, you can do that yourself, and the act of me doing that in an astute manner will influence the other person, and they will be brought to some degree into that process of riding those energies and having a more kind of nuanced conversation energetically.
That sounds so delicious.
Yeah. So I mean, there's just so much more there. Basically, there's so much more there to work with and play with and enjoy.
Yeah, well, you're not just trying to get to the point of orgasm or ejaculation. You're really, really focused on the process and feeling all of these kind of tiny energetic sensations that you can feel if you're focused on the process, if you're in the present moment. So
exactly.
That's beautiful. Yeah. So what are some of the tools you teach when you teach energy-based tantric massage?
Well, one of the most important tools I teach is I do teach, a few different qigong exercises. When I teach, let's say if I'm teaching a workshop and I teach this massage, they are weekend workshops. They're usually 2.5 days, and maybe 18, 19-hour workshops. So I do teach some qigong exercises, and we intersperse them throughout the day, throughout the work, so that we're constantly tuning back into that. And again, that is basically, that's your English vocabulary class. That's your energetic vocabulary class. Can we, get people at least a pinch of fluency in this language, or at least some greater understanding of this language? So that's one of the tools I use right off. And then I'm guiding people through, like when I teach the different, I guess I should say this, the different techniques that I teach. And so it's a very distinct system. It's sort of it's a codified system, kind of the way martial art might be. And it's designed to produce a 45 to 60 minute massage session. And that session is designed to produce certain effects and certain results. The different exercises are staged very, very carefully. They're energetically staged very carefully. So there's a sequence, where we, again, sensitize the body to the nerves, and we open up the body. We go ahead and then start stimulating sexual energy in very, very carefully placed stages in the process, so that it starts moving through, more effectively. And so as I'm teaching these things, the tool is that basically it is it's a carefully staged system, and I keep people's focus on what we're doing energetically. So the training is to sense this particular energy, understand how to move energy from one place to another in the body, things like that.
Wow. I'm so curious. That sounds, kind of what's the order in which you help people kind of awaken in terms of the areas that you touch? Is there a certain area that you feel like needs a lot of attention in order to help people get their energy flowing?
Well, I think that is there a certain area that needs a lot of attention? I think that basically it's really more of an overall thing. In other words, like I said, sort of first creating a sense of safety and comfort. If you don't have that, then nobody's going to be open enough to that energy flow. So if there's tension in the body or the psyche, energy's not going to flow. We know from Chinese medicine and from other things that energy does not flow through congested systems. So they're tense and congested, and fluids don't either. Your blood doesn't, your lymphatic fluid, so on like that, will not flow through tense, congested systems. So first thing you've got to do is create a sense of comfort and safety in the other individuals, so that they drop any tension. They start letting go of tension. So they're not fighting against this, right?
Yeah.
So as the tension lets go, then we start sensitizing the body and the nerves in the body, so that form of energy starts to flow through a more relaxed area. We start to do deep work, deep therapeutic physical work to open up areas that might be particularly the muscles along the spine, into the hips, into the pelvic area, particularly those areas there, to get them opened up and uncongested, and let energy start flowing through that more, and then we start working more with the sexual or erotic energy and moving it through the system.
Yeah, I know that for me, this kind of pre-massage before having, intimate sexual encounters is really important for me. I know that it's essentially what allows me to go into my surrender mode and really, really be present in the act of lovemaking. So I really, really connect to the way that you work. And I would love to hear from you. How does practicing this way of lovemaking, from your perspective, change people's lives? Because I'm sure you've seen people kind of go through transformations like before and after. So how do you see that happening?
Well, I think, okay, so the way that I think it, I hope that it changes people's lives. I don't know. I mean, I can't say for sure because I'm not them, but the way that I see it happening, the kind of feedback I get and what I hope is that basically, so if we think of Tantra as this expanding and sort of interweaving of energies, or becoming one with the Tao or the universe or God or whatever it might be, the concept in, let's say, Tai Chi Chuan, and I think in Tantra, is that yes, we want to merge with the universe and the Tao, and we want to merge with all the energies around us. But it's easier said than done, and I think that most people find it easier to merge with, like pick one source of energy and work on this concept of expanding out and becoming one, merging with that one source of energy before they take on the universe, so to speak, right?
Yeah,
it's like if you're a
absolutely.
martial artist and you're sparring and you're fighting, it's a lot easier to start sparring with one person before you take on 2 or 3 opponents, right? So
Sure.
you train in a sort of a more contained manner. So as we when we get so we pick another person in martial arts, we pick a person to spar with or grapple with, right? And it allows us to really focus on that energy source, that packet of energy there, and read the energy flows within it, and sort of train that way. And in Tantra, in tantric sex, if we are learning how to merge with another person, how to read energy in another person, how to merge with their energy, how to flow with it, how to become one with that, that is, from at least a Taoist standpoint and so on, the first step towards learning how to do it with multiple people, or in various situations, and with the humanity.
Yeah.
So hopefully this affects people's life in that they learn skills when they work one-on-one with their lover or their sparring partner. They learn skills that will translate into dealing with life in a more
Yes.
astute manner in all situations.
Yeah, this is so true. And we are starting to run out of time. Can you quickly tell us about your online offerings and how people can get in touch with you?
Okay. Well, they can get in touch with me. They can go to my websites, which I think you're going to have in the links, right?
I will, yes. But
Okay. Okay. Good. Yeah.
if you could just say,
Sure.
that would be
Yeah.
great.
Okay. Yeah. So, I guess the main website to go to would be the Essential Massage one, and that's esensualmassage.com, just the letter E and then the word sensualmassage.com. You can go there, and that's a good starting place. Also for Tai Chi and Qigong, there's well, I'll leave that in the link. So it's just it's a long title.
Yeah, yeah.
And as far as online offerings, honestly, right now I don't have much as far as an online offering. Been so geared around teaching in person because everything I teach is so physical and so energy based that you're really online.
Yeah.
You're not really dealing with energy, so
Yeah.
it's pretty much
Well,
impossible.
I know. So hopefully you'll be
Yeah,
able to do more of that
yeah,
soon.
yes, and I'm also
Yeah.
going to be working on seeing which of my offerings I can stick online. So that will be coming up, but some of
Okay.
them may be just too physical to do that with.
Okay, Chris, thank you so much for taking the time to be with us on Divine Couples.
Absolutely, my pleasure.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
yeah, it was great. And feel free to check us out at www.divine-couples.com. And our social media page on Instagram is at divine.couples, adding intimacy, passion, and healing to your lives. Thank you for joining us on Divine Couples. I am your host, Naomi Slater.